What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing tonight's game between the Chicago Bulls and Charlotte Hornets. And of course, you know that this is my Bulls report. Now, the Chicago Bulls are coming off of a loss in their last matchup versus the Indiana Pacers, which was a few nights ago. So this was basically, in my opinion, a way to bounce back and get back on the winning track before, continuously on this road trip. Now, of course, it was the usual suspects as far as starters. You had Ayo Dosunmu out there with Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, and Nikola Vucevic. So, against a Charlotte Hornets team who's shorthanded, so to speak, but LaMelo Ball did play tonight. Also, you've seen Mason Plumlee, Terry Rozier, and Gordon Hayward was also on the floor for them tonight. No, they did not have Kelly Oubre due to injury. Now, of course, it's always, in my opinion, right? I always see a bright spot or look for a bright spot in games like this where one team is looking and searching for answers and the other team is trying to make headway as far as the conference. Now, Ayo Dosunmu did get the first basket of the game. And that allowed DeMar DeRozan to get his offense going. You seen Zach LaVine get a early basket. Vucevic was in the paint early, and I felt like the matchup between Plumlee and Vucevic was a telling story. We know when LaMelo is playing, Plumlee likes to play the dunker spot off the pick and roll. We know when Vucevic is aggressive and getting touches early, he affects how Zach and DeRozan play. So I was interested. You seen the Bulls perimeter defense. It was, from the onset, it was okay. It wasn't the best. Now the Hornets threes, I'll get back into that a little bit later in this video. And you seen Charlotte open up on a run. They did go on a 13-2 run at one point in the first. Now, the Bulls were going in, if you watched any Bulls games, they go through these stretches of offensive lax where they don't score, and that happened in tonight's game, early in the game at that. Matter of fact, multiple times in tonight's game, but it started in the first, and it's puzzling. You have a high-powered offensive talent in Zach LaVine. You have a high-powered offensive talent in DeMar DeRozan. I don't understand how neither one of those guys can play off of each other and play a two-man game to score. But again, the Bulls went on one of those offensive droughts. You've seen early fouls from DeRozan. But you did see one of the good plays I did appreciate in the first was a great pass from Vucevic to Ayo in the paint. You seen Vuce again get more paint touches. Kobe came off the bench. He started to impact the game. You've seen some good passes from Zach. Good defense from Zach. I believe at one point he had 2 steals in tonight's game. And Zach was being aggressive. You've seen a good start from Patrick Williams. Kobe White comes in off the bench with 2 threes. And after the first, the Bulls were up 36-32. So I'm saying to myself, okay, this is how you want to start. This is the way you want to continuously play for 48 minutes. Now, in the second, you did see the Hornets get the first bucket, but the Bulls were doing all good ball movement. Now, the problem with that was upon the ball movement, the Bulls just could not score. No matter who was open, where the shots were coming from, they were just not falling. And I don't know who's to blame, but it was shots in the offense. They just were not falling for Chicago. You seen the Bulls, they don't get their first bucket in the second until 3.5 minutes into the quarter. But you do see defense to offense by Chicago. Zach was getting to the rim. You seen DeMar DeRozan get into his spots. The Bulls did lead by 8 after 2. So at the half, I'm saying to myself, okay, the Hornets haven't played the best first half. And neither have Chicago. But when I gauged both halftime performances versus each other, it just looked like the better team after 24 minutes of basketball was the Chicago Bulls. Now, to start the third, you seen Plumlee open up with a dunk, but Ayo got to the rim. Patrick Williams got to the rim. Vucevic from the mid-range. I feel like Plumlee and Rozier was two of their bright spots, especially in the third. Especially Plumlee, he had a total of, I believe, 10 points in the third. You seen a 10-0 run by Charlotte, and this is where the Chicago Bulls started to turn the ball over, become laxed, and just allow a team that were fighting to ultimately just find their way back into the game. Lazy passes, no effort. And the Hornets did tie the game up at 71. Then they went up in the next possession, 73-71. Everything was going the Hornets' way from the onset of the third. You see AC come off the bench with his points, with his not only his defense, but also his passing. Now, the Bulls did lead by 2 after 3. But then this is where the tide turned. The Bulls go into the penalty early in the fourth quarter. Whether it was bad defense or them outright not wanting to win this basketball game, they allowed the Charlotte Hornets to come. Well, no. They went into Charlotte with the idea to win a basketball game against a team who's, will be a lottery team ultimately. And the Chicago Bulls just played like trash in the fourth quarter. I'm going to just keep it cut and dry. There's nothing to take away from this game that's positive. Nothing. Honestly, this has been the worst 2-game performance that I've seen by the Bulls in a while this year. Guys have no effort. Guys are not running. It was moments where the Bulls were down in the fourth on a break, and guys just not running. You're on a fast break. Run. The Bulls absolutely allowed the Charlotte Hornets to shoot. I believe at one point they were like 0 of their last 17 threes. I mean, pack the lane and allow them to beat you from the perimeter. This is basketball. It's not rocket science. We're talking about a team with all-stars. We're talking about a team that was put together to actually compete in the Eastern Conference. At this point, I don't think they're able to do either. I don't think they're able to win games or compete in the Eastern Conference because they're looking up at everybody else. You're looking up at teams that you should be beating. Why are you losing to the Pacers? Why are you losing to the Hornets? Now, granted, this is the NBA. We have professionals there. Any given night, any given team can beat you. But when you go out and you beat a Golden State, you beat a Brooklyn, you beat a Boston, you beat a Milwaukee, that puts the league on notice like, okay, maybe they aren't a pushover team. At this point, I'm going to read the box scores, of course. But at this point, what do you expect when guys are coming out and they're laxed? DeMar DeRozan can average 20 to 25, but who cares if we're losing? Zach LaVine, I seen him at one point tonight standing at the top of the key. He makes $200 million. Why doesn't he want the ball? Vucevic, no contract extension. I believe he'll be traded. I believe everybody who's anybody that wore a Chicago Bulls jersey tonight, job is on the line. Billy Donovan is here to stay. They're not firing him. He got an extension. But everyone else, I believe the Bulls. Now, am I panicking? I don't know right now. But this game left a very, very, very sour. I have a sour feeling after this game. You go into it with the mindset that, you have a formidable enough roster to get it done. And that just wasn't the case. That was not the case. And ultimately, if the Chicago Bulls want to put themselves with the upper echelon, not only in the East, but in the rest of the league, within the league. These guys have to play better. They just have to play better. There is nothing else around it. The Chicago Bulls did lose tonight's game at a score of 111-96. That is their second loss in a row. And like I said, LaMelo Ball did not have a big game tonight. As far as their stats went, Terry Rozier had 28. LaMelo Ball did have 15 and 11 with 8 assists, but he shot 2 of 15 from the field and 2 of 11 from 3. Mason Plumlee was in the middle grabbing hella boards. He had 12 rebounds, 21 points. You seen Gordon Hayward shoot 6 of 10, 17 points. As for the Bulls, as a team from 3, they shot 4 of 25. The Hornets as a team shot 7 of 32 from 3. You seen Vucevic, dismal performance, 5 of 16 from the field, 0 of 6 from 3. Why is he shooting 6 threes? I don't know. 9 rebounds, 12 points. DeMar DeRozan went 9 of 21 tonight, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 28 points. Patrick Williams with 15 points, 6 for 15 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3. Yes, he is shooting in the upper 40s, but that's not what I expected. Zach LaVine with another under 20-point evening. 18 points, 9 rebounds, 8 of 19 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. 9 rebounds for Zach LaVine. I will say he was crashing the boards. I will say that. But no bench production. You got 2 from Caruso, 6 from White, 3 from Jones Jr. Dalen Terry did play a minute, but he did not score. No minutes from Andre Drummond. The Chicago Bulls absolutely have to be better. They have to look in the mirror as they go on the road and face Orlando in their next outing. Because Orlando will not be a pushover. They can at least go 10 men deep. We're talking about Paolo Banchero. We know what Wendell Carter Jr. is going to try to come out and do in that game. He's going to try to destroy the Bulls. Franz Wagner, Mo Bamba, Mo Wagner. I mean, it's going to be tough. So the Bulls definitely have an uphill battle on the tail end of this road trip, and it does not get any easier from here. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to the channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.